The law of attraction is a powerful force, but it's also misunderstood. Some people think it's magic. They believe that if they just sit around and imagine what they want, it will fall into their lap. But that's not how it works. The law of attraction is not about wishful thinking. It's a process. It's a way of directing your mind, your energy, and your actions toward what you truly desire. And when you understand how to use it correctly, it changes everything. Because the truth is, we are always attracting something. Whether we realize it or not, our thoughts, our emotions, and our habits shape the results we get in life. Some people attract success, others attract struggle. Some people bring opportunity into their lives. Others seem to keep running into obstacles. And the difference is not luck, it's not talent, it's not fate, it's focus. Others attract struggle. Some people bring opportunity into their lives. Others seem to keep running into obstacles. And the difference is not luck, it's not talent, it's not fate, it's focus. Everything in life follows the same principle. What you focus on expands. If you focus on problems, you get more problems. If you focus on opportunities, you start seeing opportunities everywhere. If you focus on your limitations, life will reinforce those limitations. And if you focus on your goals with clarity, energy, and intention, the universe begins to align in ways you never imagined. But there's a key difference between people who hope the law of attraction will work and people who make it work. One group waits, wishing for something to change. The other group creates the change. One group asks, "Why isn't this working?" The other asks, "What do I need to do next?" And that's what we're going to cover. Because this isn't just about thoughts. It's not just about affirmations or vision boards. It's about creating the right inner and outer conditions for success. It's about shifting your beliefs, mastering your emotions, and aligning your daily actions with your long-term vision. Because at the end of the day, the law of attraction is not about attracting things. It's about attracting who you need to become. And once you understand that, you will never struggle with reaching your goals again. The first thing you must understand about the law of attraction is that it starts with awareness. Most people go through life unaware of the thoughts they think, the emotions they cultivate, and the energy they put into the world. But whether you're aware of it or not, your mind is constantly shaping your reality. Every thought you have, every belief you hold, every feeling you reinforce, it all plays a role in what you attract into your life. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a good mood, good things seem to happen more often? When you feel confident and capable, people respond to you differently. But when you're stressed, worried, or negative, it's almost like everything starts working against you. The same situation can feel completely different depending on your mindset. That's because the world isn't just happening to you. It's responding to you. And that's why the first step to mastering the law of attraction is to become conscious of what you're thinking, feeling, and believing every single day. Your thoughts are like seeds. Every single one plants something in your subconscious mind. If you constantly think about what's going wrong, you're planting seeds of doubt, struggle, and frustration. If you focus on what's possible, you're planting seeds of confidence, growth, and success. So the question is, what are you planting? Are you filling your mind with thoughts that move you forward? Or are you filling it with doubts and limitations? Because whatever you feed your mind, it will expand. And here's something most people don't realize. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. If you repeatedly visualize success, your mind begins to believe it's possible. If you constantly think about failure, your mind assumes that's what's coming. Your brain is always looking for confirmation of what you already believe. And once you understand that, you realize why so many people stay stuck. They tell themselves they're unlucky. They tell themselves they're not good enough. They tell themselves success is for other people. And their brain goes to work, proving them right. But successful people, they do something different. They train their mind to work for them, not against them. They start by replacing the thoughts that don't serve them. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, they say, I'm learning, I'm improving, I am capable. Instead of saying, I never have any opportunities, they say, opportunities are everywhere, and I see them clearly. This is not just about positive thinking, it's about rewiring your brain. And science backs this up. Neuroscience has shown that the brain is plastic. It can change. The thoughts you think the most create pathways in your brain. And the more you reinforce those thoughts, the stronger those pathways become. That's why negative people stay negative. That's why confident people keep succeeding. They have trained their brain to expect success. So how do you start shifting your thoughts? How do you reprogram your mind for success? The first step is to become hyper-aware of what you're thinking. Pay attention to the way you talk to yourself. Do you lift yourself up or tear yourself down? Do you expect things to work out or do you assume the worst? Because if you don't control your thoughts will control you. And once you've identified your negative thought patterns, the next step is to replace them. This is where affirmations come in, not as wishful thinking, but as a tool to recondition your mind. But here's the key. You must believe what you're saying. If you say, I am rich, but deep down you don't believe it, your subconscious mind will reject it. But if you say, I am learning how to create wealth, or I am becoming more financially secure every day, your mind can accept it. The trick is to phrase your affirmations in a way that feels real to you, something you can truly believe. And the final step, repetition. Because changing your mind is like building a muscle. You don't do it once and expect a transformation. You train it every day until it becomes second nature. Your thoughts create your beliefs. Your beliefs create your emotions. Your emotions create your actions. And your actions create your results. So if you want to use the law of attraction to reach your goals, the first thing you must do is take control of the one thing that shapes everything else, your mind. Once you understand that your thoughts shape your reality, the next step is to harness the power of emotion. Most people believe the law of attraction works by thinking about what they want. But thinking alone is not enough. Emotion is the real driving force behind manifestation. Because thoughts create the blueprint, but emotions give it power. Think about a time when you were deeply excited about something. Maybe you were preparing for a big opportunity. Maybe you had a clear goal in mind and you felt unstoppable. That energy, that feeling, is what moves things forward. Now think about a time when you felt uncertain, doubtful, or fearful. What happened? Did you take action or did you hesitate? Did you attract more opportunities or did you experience more obstacles? This is how the law of attraction really works. You don't just attract what you think about, you attract what you feel the most. And this is where most people get stuck. They say they want success, but deep down, they feel fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. They say they want wealth, but deep down, they feel lack. They focus on their debts, their struggles, their worries. Your emotions send out signals, just like a radio station. If you're tuned into the frequency of fear, stress, or worry, that's the energy you're broadcasting into the world, and life will reflect that energy back to you. But if you're tuned into confidence, gratitude, and excitement, you begin attracting situations that match that vibration. So the question is, what are you broadcasting every day? Are you radiating confidence or insecurity? Are you feeling empowered or powerless? Because life is not responding to what you say. It's responding to what you feel. And here's the key. You can change your emotions on command. Most people believe emotions just happen to them. They think, I feel anxious because of my situation. I feel frustrated because things aren't working. But that's not true. Your emotions are not caused by your circumstances. They are caused by your focus. What you focus on determines how you feel. If you focus on what's missing, you will feel lack. If you focus on what's wrong, you will feel frustrated. But if you shift your focus to what's possible, to what you do have, to what's going well, your emotional state will change instantly. And here's something most people don't realize. You don't have to wait for something good to happen to feel good. You can generate positive emotions right now. And when you do, you start attracting more things to feel good about. This is why gratitude is one of the most powerful emotional states. When you feel grateful, your energy shifts. You stop focusing on what's missing, and you start seeing abundance everywhere. And when you truly feel abundant, you attract abundance. But gratitude is just one tool. Another is visualization. Visualization is not just about seeing an image in your mind. It's about feeling it as if it's already real. When you close your eyes and picture your goal, don't just see it. Step into it. Feel what it would be like. If your goal is financial freedom, imagine what it would feel like to wake up knowing you never have to worry about money again. If your goal is a strong, healthy body, imagine the energy, the confidence, the strength you would feel every day. And here's the trick. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. If you visualize something with enough detail and emotion, your mind believes it's real. And once your mind believes something, it starts working to make it true. This is why elite athletes use visualization before competitions. They don't just practice physically, they practice mentally. They see themselves winning. They feel the excitement, the adrenaline, the confidence. And because their mind has already experienced success, their body follows. You can do the same. Start every morning by feeling what it would be like to already have what you desire. Not someday, now. Because when you start feeling successful, opportunities begin to align. When you start feeling wealthy, you start making decisions that lead to wealth. When you start feeling confident, you carry yourself differently, and the world responds. But there's one more step. Action. Because here's where most people get it wrong. They think, if I just think about success and feel successful, it will come to me. But that's only part of the equation. The law of attraction works when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in alignment. You can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. You must act in a way that matches the future you want to create. If you want to be successful, start making decisions like a successful person would. If you want to be wealthy, start managing your money wisely today. If you want to be in great shape, don't wait for motivation. Move your body now. Because action is the final ingredient that transforms thought into reality. And when you combine the right mindset, the right emotions, and the right actions, you will begin attracting the life you truly desire. Once you have aligned your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your goals, the next step is faith. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the invisible force that keeps you moving forward, even when the results aren't visible yet. And this is where most people lose momentum. They start strong. They think positive thoughts. They feel inspired. They take action. But when things don't happen as fast as they expect, they begin to doubt. They wonder if the law of attraction is even working. They start questioning whether they're doing it right. And that doubt, that fear, it pulls them backward. The universe operates on timing. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean nothing is happening. Imagine planting a seed. You water it, nurture it, give it sunlight, but for a while, nothing happens. You don't see anything above the ground. Does that mean the seed isn't growing? Not at all. It means the roots are forming. The foundation is being built. The process is happening beneath the surface. And if you stop watering it because you don't see instant results, you kill the very thing that was about to grow. This is how faith works. You must believe in your vision before it becomes reality. You must trust the process before you see evidence. Because once you start doubting, once you start focusing on the lack of results instead of the progress you're making, you slow down your own momentum. So how do you develop unshakable faith? How do you stay committed to your vision even when nothing seems to be happening? The first step is deciding in advance that your goal is already done. Not if it will happen, not maybe one day, but done. When you decide that success is inevitable, everything changes. You stop hesitating. You stop second guessing. You stop looking for backup plans. You move with certainty. You take bold action. You trust that every step, even the small ones, are leading you exactly where you need to go. The second step is learning to detach from the how. One of the biggest mistakes people make with the law of attraction is trying to control how things will happen. They decide exactly when, exactly where, exactly who will be involved. But that's not your job. Your job is to focus on what you want and why you want it. The how will unfold in ways you can't predict. Think about every major success in your life. Did it happen exactly the way you imagined? Or did it come through an unexpected opportunity, a random meeting, a path you never considered? The universe has infinite ways to bring your desires to you. And if you get too attached to just one way, you might miss an even better path. So let go of the need to control every detail. Focus on the vision. Take inspired action and trust that life will align things in ways you can't yet see. The third step is acting as if. When you believe something is already yours, you act differently. You carry yourself with confidence. You make decisions from a place of certainty. And that energy, that belief, starts to shape reality. If you knew without a doubt that your success was guaranteed, how would you behave? Would you hesitate? Would you procrastinate? Would you doubt yourself? Not a chance. You would move with purpose. You would trust yourself. You would act in ways that match the future you're creating. And when you do this consistently, your external reality has to catch up with your internal certainty. Because the law of attraction is not just about what you want, it's about who you become. Now let's talk about one of the biggest obstacles to faith, fear. Fear is what stops people from manifesting their desires. It's what causes hesitation, second guessing, and self-sabotage. And fear is always tied to uncertainty, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of the unknown. But here's the truth. Uncertainty is part of the process. You will never have all the answers. You will never see the entire path, but you don't need to. All you need to do is trust the next step, and then the next one, and then the next one. Because faith is not about knowing exactly how things will unfold. Faith is about moving forward anyway. And the more you do this, the more evidence you collect. You start seeing how things align. You start experiencing little coincidences that are too perfect to be random. And that's when faith turns into certainty. So today, make the decision. Decide that your goal is already done. Let go of needing to control how it will happen. Act as if success is inevitable. And when fear shows up, move forward anyway. Because once you master faith, the law of attraction stops being a theory. It becomes a force that works in your favor every single day. Once faith is established, the next step in using the law of attraction to reach your goals is alignment. Alignment means that everything within you, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and your habits, is moving in the same direction as your goal. Most people don't struggle because they lack desire. They struggle because they are out of alignment with what they want. They say they want wealth, but their habits reflect scarcity. They say they want success, but they procrastinate. They say they want confidence, but they still entertain self-doubt. The universe is not responding to your words. It is responding to your state of being. If you say, I want to be rich, but deep down, you still feel broke, you will attract more lack. If you say, I want love, but you believe you're unworthy of it, you will push it away. So the question is, are you truly aligned with your goal? Because once you align your internal state with what you desire, the external world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. The first step to alignment is self-image. You will never manifest anything that is out of harmony with how you see yourself. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, you will keep struggling. If you see yourself as someone who is successful, doors will begin to open. This is why changing your self-image is critical. You must become the person who has the results you desire before those results arrive. And this means upgrading your identity. Your identity is the set of beliefs you hold about yourself. It dictates what you think you're capable of, what you believe you deserve, and what you expect from life. And here's the truth. You will always act in alignment with your identity. If you identify as someone who is disciplined, you won't struggle to take action. It will be automatic. If you identify as someone who is successful, you will naturally look for solutions instead of excuses. If you identify as someone who is healthy, making good choices becomes effortless. So the key question is, who do you believe you are? And if your identity is not in alignment with your goals, you must change it. Not by hoping, not by waiting, but by acting as if you are already the person you want to be. Because your actions reinforce your identity. If you act with confidence every day, your mind starts believing you are confident. If you take disciplined action every day, your mind starts believing you are disciplined. And once your mind believes it, reality begins to shift. The second step to alignment is habits. Your life is a reflection of your daily habits. Not what you do once in a while, not what you do when you're feeling motivated, but what you do consistently. And here's where most people go wrong. They set big goals, but their habits don't match. They want to be wealthy, but they have poor financial habits. They want to be successful, but they waste time. They want to be in great shape, but they make excuses. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you habitually do. So the key is simple. Align your habits with your vision. If you want to be wealthy, adopt the habits of financially successful people. If you want to be healthy, adopt the habits of fit and energetic people. If you want to be confident, practice the habits of confident people. Because once your daily actions match your goals, success is inevitable. The third step to alignment is environment. Your environment influences you more than you realize. If you are constantly around negative people, it's hard to stay positive. If your environment is full of distractions, it's hard to stay focused. If you are surrounded by excuses, it's hard to stay disciplined. You must design your environment for success. This means surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, removing distractions that pull you off track, creating an atmosphere that makes it easy to stay aligned with your vision. Because your environment will either push you forward or pull you back. And if you're serious about using the law of attraction, you must make sure everything around you supports your growth. The final step to alignment is letting go of resistance. Sometimes the very thing that blocks what you desire is resistance. The tension, the doubt, the overthinking. The more you need something to happen, the more pressure you create, and pressure blocks flow. The law of attraction works best when you are in a state of ease. When you trust that what you desire is already on its way. When you allow success to come instead of forcing it. This doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means you take inspired action. Not action from a place of fear or desperation, but action from a place of certainty. And when you do this, everything shifts. Opportunities show up effortlessly. Ideas flow naturally. You start meeting the right people at the right time. And what once felt difficult now feels inevitable. Because when you are fully aligned, mind, body, and soul, success is no longer something you chase. It becomes something you attract. The final key to using the law of attraction to reach your goals is persistence. Because even when your thoughts are clear, your emotions are strong, your actions are aligned, and your faith is unshakable, there will still be obstacles. And this is where most people quit. They start with excitement. They visualize, they affirm, they take action. But when things don't happen fast enough, they lose momentum. They start doubting. They start looking for shortcuts. And eventually, they stop. But those who understand how the law of attraction works know that persistence is what separates success from failure. Think of it like this. Every action you take, every time you align your thoughts and emotions with your vision, you are adding energy to your manifestation. It's like filling a bucket with water. But what happens if you stop too soon? The bucket never fills. The breakthrough never comes. The success that was just around the corner slips away. The universe rewards those who keep going. And the truth is, most people give up right before things start to shift. They stop watering the seed right before it sprouts. They walk away from the path right before the finish line. And the saddest part, they never realize how close they were. So the question is, how do you keep going, even when things aren't happening as fast as you want? The first step is to shift your mindset from outcome-focused to process-focused. Most people attach their happiness to the result. They think, I'll be happy when I reach my goal. I'll feel successful when I get the outcome I want. But this mindset creates frustration. Because when progress is slow, they feel discouraged. When things don't go as planned, they feel like they're failing. But those who truly succeed, they fall in love with the process. They find joy in the daily actions that bring them closer to their goal. They celebrate the small wins. They focus on becoming the person they need to be, regardless of how long it takes. And when you do this, something shifts. You stop feeling desperate. You stop stressing over when things will happen. And instead, you develop a deep trust that every step you take is leading you exactly where you need to go. The second step to persistence is learning to reframe obstacles. Most people see challenges as signs to stop. They think, if things were meant to be, they would be easy. But that's not true. Obstacles are not stopping you. They are shaping you. Every challenge, every delay, every moment of struggle is part of your growth. It is preparing you for the success you desire. Because the universe will not give you something you are not ready for. Think of it like this. If you were handed everything you wanted today, would you be able to handle it? Would you have the discipline, the mindset, the skill set to maintain it? This is why persistence matters, because every setback is actually a setup for the next level. The third step to persistence is building resilience. Resilience is the ability to keep going, no matter what. It is the ability to bounce back from failure, to adapt to challenges, to keep taking action, even when it feels difficult. And here's the truth. Resilience is built through discomfort. Every time you push through resistance, every time you refuse to quit, every time you choose to move forward instead of giving up, you strengthen your ability to handle anything. And the more resilient you become, the more unstoppable you are. The fourth step to persistence is trusting divine timing. There is a perfect timing for everything. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it isn't happening. The delay is not denial, it is preparation. There are things being arranged, doors being opened, opportunities being aligned behind the scenes. And just because you can't see them yet doesn't mean they aren't there. So instead of doubting, instead of questioning, instead of feeling impatient, trust. Trust that the right people, the right circumstances, and the right opportunities will arrive at the perfect moment. And in the meantime, keep taking action. Keep aligning your thoughts, your emotions, and your habits with your vision. Keep moving forward, even when you don't see immediate results. Because those who persist always reach their goals. And when you refuse to quit, when you decide that success is non-negotiable, the law of attraction will work in your favor in ways you never imagined. At the end of the day, the law of attraction is not just about thinking positively. It is not about waiting for the universe to hand you what you want. It is about becoming the person who naturally attracts the success, the abundance, and the opportunities you desire. Because success is not something you chase. It is something you align with. When your thoughts are focused, your emotions are strong, your actions are consistent, and your faith is unshakable, the world has no choice but to respond. But remember this, manifestation is not instant. Growth takes time. Transformation takes commitment. And those who truly understand the law of attraction know that it is not just a tool for getting what you want. It is a way of life. Because the truth is, you are always manifesting. Whether you realize it or not, your energy, your beliefs, and your habits are constantly shaping your reality. So the only question is, are you attracting what you truly want? Or are you attracting what you fear? Because life will always reflect back to you what you expect, what you believe, and what you are willing to work for. So today, make the decision. Decide to think thoughts that empower you. Decide to feel emotions that fuel you. Decide to take action with confidence and purpose. Decide to trust the process, even when you don't see results right away. Decide that you are worthy of the life you desire. And when you do this, when you fully align yourself with your vision, your goals will stop being distant dreams. They will become inevitable.